Welcome to Lisbon. Lisbon is Portugal's coastal capital city. We spent an unforgettable 48 hours in Lisbon, packing in as much as we could. And we're going to take you through its best neighborhoods and top attractions, giving you insider tips on where to stay and what to eat. So, are you ready to explore one of Europe's most exciting cities? Let's dive in. Belem Tower is one of the few monuments to survive the earthquake of 1755. It is one of the 7 wonders of Portugal, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Located directly on the Tagus River, this is a great way to begin your Lisbon adventure.
Well, as you can see, one of the most popular attractions in Lisbon is Belem Tower. It's about a €8 ride out here on an Uber. It's a bit of a madhouse, so come early in the morning. But I think at any time of day it's busy. It is the #1 attraction. It's really spectacular to see. It's quite the feat. A fun fact is that this used to be an island unto itself, but there was an earthquake in the 1700s, I believe. And after the earthquake, it moved closer to the city of Lisbon. So now it's located just on the beach offshore.
The cost to enter is just €6, and opening hours are from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. from May to September, with an earlier closing of 5:30 p.m. from October to April. You can reserve your timed entry in advance, and we have links in the description below.
All right, so I highly recommend starting your day out here at Belem Tower and then start walking along the waterfront because there are other sites along the way. It's a beautiful day. We're going to go check out the sites on the river.
Just a short walk from Belem Tower is Jeronimos Monastery. It's another UNESCO World Heritage Site that you must not miss.
Wowee! It's Jeronimos Monastery, ever beautiful. We got to see the fountain just in time. It's going off now. Must be lunchtime.
Jeronimos Monastery was built in the 16th century to commemorate Vasco da Gama's voyage to India. He was the first European to reach India by sea.
Well, they're in the process of restoring this, and what a difference it looks like. It already is beautiful, but cleaning the marble is spectacular. This is what's happening behind me, and then I'll show you where they've cleaned it. Gorgeous.
Tickets cost €12, and you can purchase them online in advance as well, and we have them in the links below. It's only fitting that the Monument of Discoveries is located nearby. Vasco da Gama was just one of many legendary explorers from Portugal, and this impressive monument that was built on the Tagus River in the 20th century celebrates those great explorers, with Prince Henry the Navigator at the front. I could eat these for days. Also located in the Belem neighborhood is the birthplace of Portugal's famous Pasteis de Nata. Pasteis de Belem has been serving its secret recipe since 1837 and offers the original version of the creamy custard tart that has become a symbol of Portuguese culinary tradition.
We are at Pasteis de Belem here in Lisbon, and we are at the original dating back to 1837. So if you want to have an original, and perhaps the best, you have to come here. I'm going to taste it now. Let's see how it is. Oh my goodness. So the concierge at our hotel told us at Pasteis de Belem to come inside instead of takeout because the line moves faster. And you know what? It does. We were maybe 2 minutes in line, we're already at the front.
The history of these tarts dates back to the early 19th century, crafted by monks. When the monastery closed, this recipe was passed to the bakery, ensuring the legacy of this delicious treat.
Well, I think I found the neighborhood that I like in Lisbon, the Belem neighborhood. You have of course, Belem Castle, you have the marina. It's nice, open and airy. The old town's nice to visit, but I think that the next time I come to Lisbon, I would stay in this neighborhood because it's just away from the hustle and bustle and it's much cooler and just more open.
We continued to walk along the waterfront, enjoying the views of the Tagus River, including the Sanctuary of Christ the King, a monument that reminded us of Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. There are plenty of things to see, and you can rent bikes or scooters to get around as well. Whatever you do, don't miss the impressive Museum of Art, Architecture, and Technology.
I'm really enjoying my walk along the waterfront. Now we're heading across to the MAAT, which is a really cool museum with an even cooler bridge to cross the highway.
We walked all the way to the LX factory, which is one of the coolest neighborhoods in Lisbon. It's a complex of old industrial buildings located under the April 25th bridge that has been turned into an artisan community. There are restaurants, boutiques, art galleries, and multimedia displays. This is a great spot to grab dinner and enjoy an aperitif. After catching an Uber back downtown, we relaxed at our hotel located on the Champs-Élysées of Lisbon, the Avenida da Liberdade. This beautiful tree-lined street was inspired by the boulevards of Paris, with a shaded walkway through beautiful architecture. For high-end shopping, this is the place to go. It is one of the most expensive streets in Portugal, and we got an amazing deal on Booking.com at the Turim Boulevard Hotel. Our hotel had a rooftop pool and bar where we enjoyed sunset before heading over to the Tivoli Avenida Hotel next door. It too has a beautiful rooftop bar. This area is a great place to grab some dinner and enjoy the rooftop bars for those gorgeous views. All right, we're excited here. We're getting in to see our first Fado show here in Lisbon. We made the mistake of booking a Fado show online with Get Your Guide, but we really should have gone to the Alfama District to experience this genre of music in the city's oldest district. Fado is recognized by UNESCO as part of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity, and you can visit the Fado Museum in Alfama as well.
Well, I totally enjoyed that Fado show, and I think that the intimate setting is exactly what it should be. The voices were outstanding, and I just loved the music. Even though I had no idea what they were saying, I could feel what they were feeling. Take a ride on the historic tram 28 here in Lisbon. These trams were started to help people get up the hill to the fort and the castles. It's very hilly on either side. Back in the day, it used to be horses. There are some elevators now, and there's an escalator. The lineup is huge here, so Dave and I are going to go hop on the stairs and the escalator on the way up. We'll see you at the top.
So that was easy. Took about a minute to go up, and hey, we're up here.
The Alfama neighborhood is the oldest, most traditional neighborhood in Lisbon, and a great place to get lost in the streets, do some shopping, have a Pasteis de Nata, and just enjoy a coffee or something in the morning. Also, make sure you get out to one of its many miradors.
The Alfama District is the most cultural and authentic neighborhood in Lisbon, and it's a perfect place to start off day 2 of your 48 hours in Lisbon. You can easily spend half a day here. Start by making your way to the top and explore Castello St. George. You can see this castle from all around the city. The old fortifications date back to the 2nd century BC, but it underwent extensive renovations. You can also walk along its old walls and take in the views of Lisbon. And make sure to get there early or book your tickets in advance, as it can get really crowded.
All right, just around from the castle is a historic viewpoint church. And it is €5 to get in per person. However, they do give you either a glass of wine, a glass of juice, or a bottle of water, whatever you prefer. Let's take a look. Well, this is the chapel view. It costs €5 to get up, and it's probably one of the few places that you can see really great views of Lisbon. So it's quite beautiful. I think it's worth it because you get a free drink with it too. It's worth the price of wine if you come at sunset.
Steep stairs. Sadly, there is a lot of unwanted graffiti in Lisbon. But when walking through the Alfama District, there's actually a great place with designated street art and displays that is really worth visiting on your way down to Porto Do Sol.
Well, this area definitely feels like the designated graffiti area, which I'm okay with. You know, if it's all in one place like this, hey, it makes it kind of cool. One of the most popular things to do in Lisbon is to head to the Miradoures. There are many of them. There's little bars, cafes, and restaurants, and lots of people. But if you come in there early in the morning, it's not too bad at all. The Miradouro here is the Gates of the Sun and the Santa Lucia.
And it's here that you can hop on another historic tram to tour the city, or hire a tuk-tuk like we did.
When you come to Lisbon, get on a tuk-tuk and come with Eddie.
Yeah.
He's at the Gates of the Sun. The Porto do Sol is where you pick up the tuk-tuks here. It's much better than booking online.
Definitely.
So the tuk-tuk tour is quite pricey, but I do find that Lisbon, a lot of people say Lisbon is small, but I think it's quite spread out. And because of all the hills, I could never get to all of these places in one day. So I do highly recommend it. You can book it ahead of time on Get Your Guide, and it's around 200 Canadian for a group, I do believe. We paid €80 for an hour and a half for 2 people.
It's actually a great way to see a lot of the top attractions in a short amount of time.
We have come up to Miradouro Senhora de Monte. That's as good as I get with my accent. It's terrible. But this is the highest point in Lisbon, and it's a fantastic view. We came up here on a tuk-tuk, which is a lot of fun to do. The Lisbon Cathedral is the oldest cathedral in the city, dating back to 1147. It survived the devastating earthquake of 1755. So a lot of the monasteries and churches are pay to enter. But here at the São Vincent de Fora, you can go into the church for free. So we're going to go take a look. The 12th century church is free to enter, and it's worth seeing as it is dedicated to the patron saint of Lisbon. If you want to see the monastery, the entrance is only €5.
Lucky for us, we're not museum people because a lot of them are closed on Mondays. And hey, today's Monday.
When it is open, the National Pantheon is worth going inside to see the tombs of the country's most important cultural figures, including explorers, presidents, and even fado performers. The National Pantheon is quite impressive. It's massive. It's closed right now. I guess we can't go in, but it's still worth coming to see. It's quite beautiful. We had our tuk-tuk driver let us off at Commerce Square and spent the rest of the afternoon exploring some of the more popular tourist attractions in downtown Lisbon. All of them are within walking distance, and they're easy to find by just punching them in on Google Maps. Comerica Square is the biggest square in Lisbon. There's always something going on. Looks like there's some nice porticos there where you can go and have some lunch and see the entertainment and everything that's going on in town.
Commerce Square is Lisbon's Grand Square, located on the River Tagus. With its distinctive U-shaped arrangement of yellow 19th century buildings standing at the former royal palace. There's a lot happening at this square, and you can't miss going to see it.
Framed by the majestic Rua Augusta Arch, you can reach Commerce Square along the walking street of Rua Augusta. Visitors can also go up this arch for a bird's eye view of the square. And don't miss walking along this pedestrian street that is a bustling hive of activity with an array of shops, cafes, and street performers that will entertain you at every turn.
One of the must-stops is Pink Street.
Hey.
This is the party street and the umbrella street. It's not as big as other umbrella streets. It's just got a few across, but you know, with the magic of camera angles, everyone makes it look spectacular.
Very true. So Pink Street here in Lisbon is the perfect example of them basically doing something just to get Instagrammers to come here. Really, when you come down here at night, it's discotheques, it's strip clubs, it's all that kind of stuff. But during the day, it's full of people trying to take Instagram photos, and basically otherwise they would never be down here. This would be completely empty. So if you want to attract the influencer market, paint your street pink.
I really enjoyed the market in Porto, but this one is just insanely busy. So I'm not going to stay and have lunch here. I don't think you can get a seat. It's hot in here, it's loud, it's crowded. So I stopped in to see the Time Out Market, but I'm out of here.
Even though the Time Out Market is busy, it's a must visit on your Lisbon itinerary. Located in the former Mercado da Ribeira, it's a food hall bringing together a curated selection of Lisbon's best restaurants at an affordable price. It's a good place to grab your lunch before moving on. The Santa Justa lift is a beautiful elevator standing high above the historic center, and a ride on this is included in the Lisbon card. This historic elevator takes you from the Baixa district to Carmo Square. You can take the funicular up from Baixa to Barra Alta, and the Miradouro is just a short walk from there. There are vendors and there's a cafe, and this is an excellent spot for sunset.
We have come up the other side to the Miradouro San Pedro for a completely unique perspective of the city. We're now looking over all of the old town over there. This is a really spread out city, I have to say, with all the different miradors. And if you want to see it, you want to either hire a taxi, hire a tuk-tuk, or get on a tour.
We ended our 2 days in Lisbon in the Barrio Alto district to enjoy dinner and drinks in this lively area where the streets come alive with music, bars, and restaurants once the sun goes down. And there you have our 48 hours in Lisbon. We're heading back there soon and we'll share even more things to do in the city, but for now, check out our videos on Sintra, which is the most popular day trip from Lisbon and included on everyone's Lisbon itinerary. If you enjoyed our video, we'd appreciate if you subscribe to our channel to get updates on when we post new videos, and if you click on that bell, you'll be notified the minute they drop. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and see you next time from somewhere around the world.